everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Tuesday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the BBC documentary Katie Price What Harvey Did Next documentary. It aired on the BBC last Wednesday. I've only just got around to watching it, and as an autistic woman who is legally disabled, I thought I'd give my own opinion and talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So last night I decided to watch the BBC documentary that everyone's been going on about, which is the Katie Price documentary. So I was open-minded. I thought I'd watch it and then give my thoughts after I'd watched it. So the first part, we see Harvey preparing for college as he's going away to a specialist needs college. And at first I was quite excited for him, and the fact he's going to be independent, learning life skills, getting to meet new friends. But there is going to be going to college mean independent, but at some point I feel that some specialist colleges don't really understand, and sending Harvey away to a college which is like 4 hours away from his parents, friends, family, I think it's going to be too much of a change for him. And at the same time, with Harvey's challenging needs and his autism and other disabilities that he lives with, I don't know how he's going to cope. But as we see during this documentary, we see him adjusting to life at the specialist college. We see him coping with new friendships and learning to do the everyday basic living skills that we need to do, such as having a shower, eating, making friends, going out for walks, going on the bus, things that we take for granted as an everyday basic necessity. And at first I then saw the way that Katie was talking about him once he had gone away to college, and she was using language like saying that she has her life back, that she's able to do things again, and that she doesn't have to worry about Harvey banging doors or screaming or shouting. And to me, this was very ableist. I just didn't really appreciate the way that she was talking about it. I know she had to talk about it from a mum carer perspective, and I understand she has looked after Harvey for the last 19 years on her own solid. I understand that. I give her credit for it, because it isn't easy looking after a disabled child with complex needs and challenging behaviour. I get that. I appreciate Katie has done things that she feels that she can't do anymore, and I feel that this is the next step to support her and both Harvey with his needs and get him integrated into society where he can live on his own further on down the line. But at the same time, I feel that she's kind of given up on Harvey. She's like, oh, now I've got my life back. Every time I hear a door bang or a slam noise or something like that, oh, I have to remember Harvey's not here. And it's like he was too much of a burden for her. And I don't mean this in disrespectful terms, but the way she spoke about him just really triggered me. And I really didn't appreciate the way that he was made to feel like it was just he was a problem. But then again, it might have been how I took it. But yeah, so the specialist college is a college that supports people with complex needs, complex behaviour, mental disabilities, physical disabilities such as cerebral palsy, autism, learning disabilities, things like that. And they have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week staff. And these people will live there for a minimum of a 2-year window before they are moved on either to supported housing or independent housing in their local communities or back with their families. One thing that I will say also that kind of made me feel good about this college was the fact that Harvey was having support. He was being support, making his decisions about how to communicate with people, and instead of, at first they kind of tried to force him to integrate and make friends and talk to people. So I think what they did, they realised is Harvey needs to be slowly integrated into the system rather than being forced to make friends because of his autism, his challenging behaviour. I think he's also got Prader-Willi syndrome as well. So the fact that they were trying to force him to socially communicate, when you have a social communication disorder, that's not the first thing that you should really do. You should be slowly adapting to his needs and getting down on his level and to be able to communicate so that he doesn't feel frightened or anxious, because a lot of us will have anxiety and panic, and being away from home is a different environment. So again, he's having to adapt to change, he's having to be away from home, he's having to be in a new environment that's not catered for him, and I think that did overstimulate him. And as you'll see in the programme, which I will link down in the video description so you can watch it for yourself, you can see what I mean by how Harvey behaved at the beginning of the documentary. And the one thing that I did like, I will say, is the one thing that I did like with Katie when she went to visit him during the half-term holiday is that she reassured him everything was okay. She talked to him and she gave him a cuddle. She explained she loved him, and she also took the children there, which is his brothers and sisters, to see him so they could see him in his new environment, which I thought was a great way of reassuring him and his needs, the fact that his family do care about him. But at the same time, I don't agree with the way that they were forcing him to socially communicate and forcing him to be part of a team, because when you have autism, the last thing you want to do is be stuck in a group work session or be around people who may have other forms of disability that Harvey might find difficult to adjust to or be around people. And the fact that I feel that they treat him like a bit like a baby, like they were like, oh, good boy, Harvey, well done, Harvey, oh, come and do this, Harvey. It's so patronising. Don't patronise people with disabilities, especially someone who's very, very bright and intelligent like Harvey is, and the others who were in this documentary. And I just feel that the staff really were treating him like an idiot. And like even Katie, like when she talks, she's like, oh, well done, Harv. Like, you know, it really agitates me, because it's like, why would you talk to someone like they're complete and utter baby? You know, like, people with autism disabilities are not babies. They're not stupid. They're not thick. Don't talk down to them like they're stupid. I know they have to be in this place because they're learning to socialise, learn to be independent, learning to do the everyday life skills that we take for granted. Yes, I'm autistic, so I can speak about this from my own autistic perspective, but don't treat us like we're babies, or treat us like we need to be in special treatment, or talk to us like we're kids, because we're not. Harvey is like 20 odd years old now. He's a man. He's not a child. And the problem that I see with these kind of specialist colleges is the fact that they talk to the people in this documentary like they're absolute babies. And that really does irritate me, because it's like, hold on a minute. These are grown adults. Most of the people in this program, including Harvey, were people who were over, I'd say 20, 24, 25 years old, and they were made to feel like they were babies. And the way that they were like, oh, would you like this? Would you like that? Like, I feel that they were just overprotected and not given a chance to prove themselves. But it was good seeing like Harvey being able to cook food and make cakes, and they celebrated a girl's birthday, which I thought was a really good way of communicating special events. And the fact that they made Harvey, you know, centre stage of it, and realised that his autism is different from the other people in the group. And I also feel that this is going to teach him life skills for the future. But again, it's just the language, the terminology, the way that it was worded. And I think they could have better have researched it. I think they could have better have used the terminology to not be so specific. And I think they need to be a bit more inclusive with people on the spectrum and the carers as well. I think they didn't really focus on the carers enough as well. But overall, it could have been done better. It could have been planned better. I don't think there was much planning and research done into it, which I think is a shame, because it didn't really go into depth about how much the autism would affect people. But yeah, please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.